right. So, good morning. Today we're going to work a little bit on the idea of communication and conversation. Definitely with other people, but even more importantly with ourselves. Like real conversation, real communication with ourselves. We talk a lot about the idea of the higher self that observes what the human self does. And that's a really there's a truth, there's a true energy of those two things, right? We do things and then we observe ourselves doing them. So there's more than one part to us. These human psyches, we're very complex. We have many bodies, we have many energies that animate us and move us through this life and guide us. And if there's not a conversation between those, then often we feel confused or lost, or we're always grasping at something that feels solid because there's all of these different energies that aren't communicating with each other. So I want you to think about the idea of communicating with your higher self, communicating with your mind, asking, allowing these two parts of you to kind of begin to have a conversation, just like the conversation that we've been suggesting lately. Cheryl's been talking about it a lot. Conversation with your neighbor who maybe has different political views than you, right? Have a conversation of why is that? Tell me about what you're thinking. If we could do that inside of ourselves, if our higher self can say, explain that to me, mind. And if your mind can say, tell me why you're not afraid. There's so many shifts, there's so much energy that can really begin to transform and merge together to propel us into this um, very energy filled time in our society, very chaotic time in our society, in a way that we feel like we're standing on solid ground, regardless of what's going on outside of us. Because that foundation, that truth, that element of feeling sure and certain, we're not going to find that on the outside. We never are going to find that on the outside, no matter how calm things are, even at a time of pure peace in our society. That energy is not going to come from the outside. That foundation has to come from the inside. So just something to think about. And it's interesting because, it's Halloween coming up, but it's also the Witch's New Year. It's called Samhain. And really what that is this time when the veils between the spirit world and the human world are very, very thin. And so there's a lot of communication that comes very easily. But those same veils are also very, very thin between the energy of our higher self and our human self. It's the same kind of energy that works with spirit. So now is a good time to really begin to dive in and have those conversations. So close your eyes for a moment. Begin to settle into your seat. Allow your breath to settle into your body. And then allow your mind to settle on your breath. Bringing all parts of you into this moment right here, right now. And as you sit steady in your seat, so connected to this moment, bring your palms together. And we'll open with Om Namo, Gurudev Namo. Inhale deeply. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev pause, feel. And then we'll move into Ad Name. We'll do it as a celestial communication chant. I believe all of you know how to do it. If you're not sure, then you can put your eyes on me for a few rounds. We'll do it 3 times. Ad Name. Jugat Name. Sad Name. Siri Guru Deve Name. Ad Name. Jugat Name. Sad Name. Siri Guru Deve Name. Ad Name. Jugat Name. Sad Name. Siri Guru Deve Name. Eyes remain closed, palms together. Connect deeply to that energy. Know that energy of protection is an energy of merging with our inner truth, protecting us against false doubts and false fears. It's an energy that promotes, that supports the conversations that we're looking at today. The conversation between me, myself, and I, capital I. Dive deeply into the silence for a moment. And then inhale deeply, bringing that prayer up overhead, squeezing everything up, pelvic floor, navel center. And exhaling wide and around. Moving through every aspect of you, every aspect. And then letting your fingers kiss the earth, reminding yourself that even that energy, that mother energy that rises from below, is a part of who you are. Everywhere that you meet, that you touch, that you encounter, you're meeting, touching, encountering your own heart. And then opening your eyes. Hi, Nora. Happy to see you. Hands on your knees and just begin some cat-cows, spinal flexes. Moving with conscious attention to where you're moving from. Are you allowing that navel energy to lead today, maybe? Letting your navel move forward. Or maybe it's your heart. Maybe more of the pelvic energy, that watery, creative, emotional energy. Where do you need to flow from today? Wherever you put your attention to, that's where the energy begins to rise up from. Play with that for a moment. As you move forward and back, bring your attention down to your sacrum and imagine that the movement is coming from a rocking of your sacrum back and forth, that grounding energy. And then move your attention to the space right below your navel. Imagine yourself moving from there and notice what feels different as you do. The energy pulling from that watery energy of creativity, of sensuality. And then bring your attention to that navel. Let your navel guide you for a few rounds here. What does that feel like? Can you feel the fire? Can you feel the fierceness as you place your attention on that chakra energy of you, of your power? And then begin to let your heart lead this motion. Does that feel different? Maybe does your speed change a little bit? What changes in your body as you move your attention to what guides you? Even bring your attention to your throat chakra. Let your throat guide you. Pure communication, speaking up, speaking out into the world. From that place of the union between the small I and the capital I. And then finally imagine the third eye leading and guiding this motion. Maybe even feeling a little bit of that etheric energy as your attention goes to that third eye. And then beginning to slow down this movement until you come to a stop, to a stillness. And once you're there, bring your attention to the crown of your head. Just pause in that silence once again. Can we remember that silence is part of the conversation? Without silence, there's only a bunch of noise. There's no time for what's being said, for that conversation that's being had to settle in. There's no room for real listening without the silence. Take another deep breath with your eyes closed. And then opening your eyes, we're going to do a short Kriya, a two-part Kriya to warm up for our main Kriya. And this is a meditation to clear your communication. So you're just going to bring your hands in front of you. Your thumb and your pointer are going to touch. Is that true? Am I lying to you? I am lying to you. You're going to bring your thumb to the fleshy part underneath your pinky. The pinky, the Mercury finger in Kundalini Yoga, is the energy of communication. The thumb is associated with the ego. So you're bringing the ego to the center of communication and letting it rest, bow to it, really. And you're just going to, with your eyes closed, not yet though, you're just going to begin to circle your arms out and then in. And you're just going to keep going, eyes closed, breath natural, just circle out and circle in. And we're just going to do this for a little over a minute. Just keep going. Eyes closed, breath relax. Clearing the energy in front of you, clearing the energy around you, making space for that communication to occur. Think about what that conversation might sound like, right? Your mind thinks something like, that person is a jerk because they think this. And then your observer comes in and says, well, is the person really a jerk? Or are you just upset because they think that? And that scares you. And then that gives that little mind something to think about. Well, yeah, you're right. I guess he's not a jerk. I guess I just don't like his point of view. And then the next question could be, well, what about his point of view don't you like? How does that make you feel? And the answer might be, well, it scares me or it hurts me. Right? So just having those conversations that we begin to get to know ourselves a little bit more, we begin to be able to dive deeply into what is causing us to react to things on the outside. The next time you come in, stay there. Let your arms stay where they are, but let your elbows relax against your ribs. Fully relax your body. And then you're going to inhale your arms straight up to the sky. Fingers are stretched. Take a deep breath in, exhale, and then just begin to chant for a minute long satnams. So it's going to be sa nam sa nam. Continue yourself at your own pace. A little more than a minute. I'll let you know when we're done. Eyes closed. Satnam, I am truth. We've made space, we've cleared. And here we're infusing the space that we've made with the energy of our truth. What it says about that first exercise that we did is that it clears our communication so that when we speak, we can be heard more clearly. And after your next nam, let your hands come together overhead in prayer and back down to your heart center. Pause here for a moment. Resting in the energy of your truth, your Satnam. This exercise, chanting long Satnams as you reach toward the heavens, grounded in your seat. It connects heaven and earth. It connects our fears and our courage. It balances all polarities. Feel that balance inside of you. So important to come back inside of yourself, to unite your heart and your mind. Come from a place where there is not that sense of division inside of you. You're clear about what you want, not what the situation is supposed to look like, but what you want. If you're clear that you want love and you want peace in this world, then you will move through this world in a way that looks like that. Open your eyes. Your legs can either be in easy sitting pose for this first exercise, or they can be stretched out. If you're stretched out, especially though, you want to be on a blanket so you have a little bit of balance. And you're simply going to interlace your fingers, press them out. You're going to take a deep inhale, and then with the breath in, you're going to pump your arms up and down 8 times. Then you're going to inhale again. Exhale, hold the breath out again 8 times and just keep going. So it's an inhale, and then as you exhale, you begin moving your hands, keeping the breath out, pumping it for 8 times. And a deep inhale again. As the arms move up and down, you're going to also pump your navel. Almost there. This is a Kriya for conversations with your soul. How pretty is that, right? There's a Kriya for everything. After the next one, after you finish pumping, inhale deeply, bring the arms up overhead, still interlaced. We'll all wait here. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, let your hands come to your heart center, still interlaced, eyes closed, and just feel. And opening your eyes, you're going to bring your hands to your sides like this. Make fists with your thumbs inside. And you're just going to begin to punch forward and back, forward and back. Let your body twist as you do it. It doesn't have to be a fierce punching, but you do want to move. You want to stretch that rib cage a little bit. Get a nice twist going, eyes closed. Let your breath move in time to your hands, to your arms. Maybe even as you're moving internally, vibrate Sat Nam, Sat Nam, Sat Nam. Reminding yourself again and again that your foundation is truth, right? That you don't want to lie to yourself. It's not your intention. Right? But when there are these conversations that are not had, there's no way to clear up the misinformation that our humanness has brought to our mind. Our humanness, we're always trying to protect ourselves from the things that we've experienced in the past that didn't feel good. And not only are we trying to protect ourselves, we're trying to protect our loved ones, right? Our friends, our family. We're trying to protect the world. Everybody is. Even if it doesn't look like that, everybody is. Everybody is afraid of something. And when we allow those fears to become what guide us instead of our truth, then what is our truth begins to get entangled and covered up in the veils of our fear. Almost there. Pull both elbows back, really, really tight. Squeeze everything. Hold the breath in. Hold, hold, hold. A big exhale through the mouth, cannon breath. One more time. Inhale. Pull everything back. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Cannon breath out the mouth. Hands down to the knees. Begin shoulder shrugs. Shoulders up toward your ears. Back down. Breath moving as you shrug and move. Clearing the energy from the throat chakra. Allowing that conversation to begin. Allowing that conversation to have space. Right. What threads can you pull on the beliefs that you have in your mind? What is it that you have been told that you doubt, but you don't look at? Are there generalizations that you make about people? What I've realized is that so often when I'm looking at somebody and thinking they're this or they're that, when I have these conversations with me, I find there's an element of that in me as well, which is why I see it in somebody else. But my judgment in my mind is that my view, though, is softer or kinder. But it doesn't matter if I'm generalizing, then it's still a judgment of a people as a whole. Like I'll find myself saying, oh, kids, they just don't care. Or, oh, teenagers are this or whatever. And that's never true because every one of us is an individual. Every one of us is different. So where in this world am I, without realizing it, bringing in the energy of what it is that I want to not see? Am I bringing it in subtle ways out of habit without even realizing it? Those conversations with my own mind are going to reveal those places where I'm holding the energy of that which I don't want. It's like a light flashing there. Next time your shoulders come down, let them relax down. And once you're in a place of stillness, take a deep inhale, shrug those shoulders up, squeeze everything up. Exhale, relax, eyes closed, feel. With your eyes closed, your hands on your knees, bring your focus, bring your eyes up towards your third eye. So you're really looking up at that third eye with your eyes closed. And again, begin chanting those long sat nams. Take a deep inhale. Sat nam. Keep chanting those sat nams at your own pace. Feeling that energy, that vibration of truth, moving through those subtle channels of energy, the meridians, clearing out, making space for conversation. What is your truth? What are the things that you say out of habit? My favorite bumper sticker, don't believe everything you think, but have a conversation about it with yourself. Whenever you have time in your day, notice the thought that you're having at that moment and ask yourself, do I believe it? Maybe you do, but take the time to examine it. Inhale deeply after your next nam. Exhale completely and just let yourself relax for a moment. And then bring your arms up overhead and just shake your body. Shake everything really vigorously. Shake, shake, shake. Let everything shake out. Getting those dust bunnies out. Clearing the room. Clearing the mind. Come to stillness. Then you're going to come to stand. Once you get there, just bring your arms to your sides. Your feet are going to be about hip distance apart. And I just want you to bend forward slightly. Keep your spine nice and long and just bend forward slightly. Keep your arms at your sides. Close your eyes. Long, deep breathing here. So just a slight moving forward, long, deep breathing. Your spine is long but tilted. Let your chin move in a little bit. Just breathe. This works on an area below the kidneys where we hold anxiety and grief. That stored energy of anxiety and grief contributes to a lot of the falsities that our human mind grasps at. Those protections that make us wary of other people or that close our minds or our ears to listening to somebody else's opinion. As you hold this posture and you breathe long and deep, begin to imagine that a beautiful healing soul comes and begins to paint triangles on your body. Right? So the triangle, the first triangle, comes from the tips of your big toes up to your navel point. So watch as this beautiful healing being takes the paintbrush and draws this triangle from the tips of your big toes out to either side, and then meeting at your navel point, your lower triangle. Meditate there. Look at the beautiful triangle, the colors of it. Begin to sense your feet on the ground, moving steadily into the center of the earth. A sense of security coming up from this triangle. And then watch as this amazing being takes the brush and paints the triangle from each of your hips to the tip of the sacrum. Small triangle here. Begin to breathe into this triangle, linking your mind and your body and your breath. Feeling the energy of your creativity in that region of the second triangle begin to emerge. And then watch as this beautiful being takes this brush again, hip to hip, meeting at the heart center. Move your meditation there, long deep breaths. This is starting to wear on your lower back. Come up for a moment. And then as you move back down, you can put your hands on your thighs, maybe. We're almost done. Begin to focus on that energy of the heart triangle, meditating there. And then watch as this being draws from shoulder to shoulder and up to the crown of your head, the final triangle. The energy of your infinite nature, seeing beyond the physical eyes, speaking your truth. This is the energy of the past, the present, and the future. Allow them all to merge right here. And keeping your eyes closed, slowly bring your body up straight, arms at your sides. Imagine a triangle being drawn from the center of your brow, all the way down your body, and then across your feet. Let yourself merge with the energy of this triangle. Feeling energies from below and above, feeding this triangle from the front and behind, from the left and the right, from inside and out, all of the energies of you merging together. And then for a moment, bring your body back into that tilt and just begin to swing your arms one and then the other, forward and back as if you were walking. So not side to side. Yeah, there you go. Yep. Forward and back, clearing the energy. And then bring yourself to stillness. Come to stand up tall. Lean your body back slightly and begin that same motion. So lean your back just slightly. Make sure you have good balance. If you need to widen your legs a little bit, you can do that. Swinging those arms. Slowly begin to bring your arms to stillness, slowing down first. And then bringing your body upright when you find that point of stillness. Close your eyes and feel. And as you open your eyes, this next exercise, I'm going to give you a couple of modifications. It's a very difficult one. I can't do it. So it calls for sitting down in easy pose and then standing up without using your hands. I can't even come close to that. So some of the modifications I received during my Kundalini training were either standing, sitting it back down into chair pose and coming back up, or sitting in easy pose, put your arms out and just move back and up, back and up. All right, so you could choose either of those, standing in chair, sitting into chair, and then coming back to straight, or sitting in easy pose, forward and then back. Eyes closed. Jennifer Knight, I am so impressed. You have no idea. You guys look amazing. One more minute. If you are doing chair, if you're sitting and standing, the next time you come up, stay. If you're on in easy pose, next time you come forward, stay. Close your eyes. Take a deep inhale. Whichever direction your arms are in, stretch them forward or up. If you're standing up, if you're sitting forward, hold everything. As you exhale, everybody will meet in easy pose. Eyes closed, hands on your knees. Once you get there, you're going to lean back about 40 degrees. So your navel's going to do a little bit of work here, but keep your hands on your knees. Keep it nice and steady. Close your eyes. And begin to meditate on your body. Let go of any limitations. And begin to search your body for anywhere that you're holding. Any fears, any neuroses. Begin saying to yourself, I'm letting it all go. All of the stories, all of the fears, all of the doubts, I'm letting it go. I am letting it go and becoming divine. Begin affirming to yourself, I am a part of the one. I am a part of everything, everywhere. And then start chanting in your mind, God and me and God are one. If God doesn't work for you, whatever does, the universe, love and me and love are one. 1 minute in your mind. Combining thought and your body and thought. The fluid experience. I'm going to play some gong music in the background, hopefully. And then begin to say to yourself, healthy am I, happy am I, holy am I. Healthy am I? Happy am I? Holy am I? Healthy am I? Happy am I? Holy am I? Take a deep breath in. Squeeze everything. Cannonball out the mouth. One more time. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Out through the mouth. Pause, eyes closed, feel. Letting your body come upright, comfortable. And as you open your eyes, come to your feet one more time. And for the very last part of this, to just kind of seal in all of this energy, you're going to begin to do jumping jacks, clapping overhead. So just a few jumping jacks. If you're seated, you can just do with your hands. Let your hands really clap as they hit overhead. Mixing up this energy, moving it around. So these exercises that we've done today, they form a bridge of energy that realigns you with your body, your mind, your spirit. This is truly the purpose of a Kriya, of bringing together all parts of you. This leads you to commitment to who you truly are, commitment to being a fluid being as you move through this earth, allowing yourself to change opinions, to process things, to listen, to communicate, to flow, to not be stuck. Come to stillness. Make your way down to your seat or to your back. We're going to rest for 5 minutes before moving into a final meditation. So get so comfortable. There's a beautiful piece written about this Kriya, communicating with your soul. She talks about how we've developed this relationship between you and you. And it's filled with habit forms, habit thoughts. And as we begin to do these different subtle movements, as we shift our bodies forward or back, as we do things that we don't normally do, we begin to break through the energy of habit patterns. We begin to develop a new relationship with who we are, to our infinite self. There's this link, this bridge that forms that begins to flow naturally. So the more we do things that allows us to move through these human habits, to interrupt their energy, the easier it is to connect with that flow of conversation. We think something, and then we ask ourselves, do I believe this? And if the answer is yes, then the whole conversation of why, what is the energy of it? What is the foundation of it? What else is possible? How else could you see this? Imagine having that conversation with yourself about things that really matter to you, things that are scaring you maybe right now. Or maybe things that always have, maybe those things that you're so emotionally connected to. For me, it's my kids, their well-being. It's also the children of this world and the way they suffer. So my conversation will be with myself about that. What do I think that looks like? Where are those beliefs coming from? Do I really believe that there are more people who don't care about those children in this world than do? Do I really believe in a universe that won't flow energy to that and make that somehow part of the divine plan, the divinity. The truth is going to be somewhere in between. There are days that I believe that I don't understand any of this. And there are days that my dedication, my devotion to this path of truth, to this path of goodness, is so strong that I can see the good even in those situations. Can you meet yourself where you are every day? Can you have that conversation of truth from wherever you are about whatever it is that comes into your mind, that comes into your day? A couple more deep breaths here. If you're on your back, begin to bring your knees into your chest. And take a couple of spinal twists. If you're seated also, take a nice twist from one side and then the other. And wherever you are, come to stillness. If you're on your back, knees into your chest. Either rock up and down on your spine or over to your right, come up to sit. Place yourself on a blanket. We're going to do a seated meditation. No more jumping jacks. Although that was kind of fun, right? And once you get there, you're going to bring your hands up like this. Your elbows can rest against your ribs. You're going to use your thumb to move back and forth from the pointer finger to the ring finger. Your eyes are going to be closed and you're going to be chanting out loud, sa, ra, sa, ra, sa, ra, sa, ra, sa, ra. Right? So thumb is going to go back and forth between the index and the ring. Eyes closed, focused up the third eye. Sa, ra. Go for it. Sa, ra, sa, ra. As you do this, feel the pulse of the sound of the chant. Notice sensations in your body. Move rather quickly between each of those fingers and see if you can feel the transformation of energy moving through you. Eyes focused up at the brow, the third eye, the point of intuition, the place where, as these thoughts come up, we can put the flashlight of truth directly on them and we can start to question, we can start to pull the threads of our beliefs. Where did that belief begin? Is that belief still something that's true now, today? Is my perspective different than it was when I first met that truth? Maybe it was a truth at one point, maybe it's not anymore. Or maybe it is a truth and something else is also true. Sa, ra, keep going. If your mind wanders, bring it back. You're actually changing the chemistry of your brain, the energy of your fingertips, sending signals to your brain, changing the chemistry, making space for your mind to open. This particular nod rhythm opens creativity and sensitivity to speak from the heart, to express the real you in your words. It projects the whole self from a place of your honest self. It's called the nod meditation, to communicate your honest self. Our brain thinks that we're being honest very often, but when you really connect to the higher self and you have these conversations, you may find that what you thought to be your truth is not. It says here that clear communication is fearless and does not need anything from the person to whom you're speaking. Our truth is not about getting people to see things our way or agree with us. Our truth is about us putting that energy out into the world and allowing the energy to move through and do whatever it is supposed to do. We're part of the recipe of peace and goodwill and equanimity. Throw your ingredients into the mix and trust. It also says when you speak out of neediness, distort the real message of your heart. This meditation lets you get to the heart of that. And after your next Ra, bring your hands to stillness. You can float down to your knees. Inhale and hold as long as you can. And when you exhale, you're going to exhale through the mouth with the mouth open. And after you exhale one more time, you're going to inhale, hold for as long as you can. Exhale out through the mouth. For the next part of this Kriya, we're going to do something a little interesting because it's supposed to be a partner Kriya. But the partner that you're working with today is your higher self. So close your eyes and bring to mind something that maybe your higher self would argue with, a belief or a fear. So an example would be, every time I drive in the rain, I have an accident. And the conversation from your higher self would be, well, that's not true. And your lower self would say, why don't you believe me? And the higher self would say, well, it's not that I don't believe you. I'm just asking you, is that really true? So a conversation like that, have a conversation with yourself. Find something, eyes closed, have that discussion. Open communication. Continue the conversation. Don't give up. Make believe that you're having a conversation with another being. Picture you in front of you. Discuss this issue. Give your side, hear the other side. And then begin to wrap up the conversation. And as you do, Stop for a minute and ask yourself, was this a satisfying conversation? Did you feel heard? Did you listen? And then hold your hands out in front of you. And you're going to slap your right hand again and again into your left. Eyes closed. Just continue to slap your hand gently. And as you do, start to say things that are really obnoxious to yourself. Thoughts that come up that, that's ridiculous. You're crazy. Why do you think that way? That's so stupid. Let those things that you do to yourself in your head, let them come up. All those things that you use in your mind, that your mind uses to discount, pulling those threads of those beliefs, those things that it wants to hold on to so dearly because it's so afraid that without them, it won't be safe. Let all those thoughts come up. And as you do, put a big smile on your face. Keep slapping that hand. Keep having that obnoxious conversation with yourself. Big smile on your face. So many contradictions going on here. Right hand slapping the left. Eyes closed. And then grab your hands as if you were shaking somebody's hand. And just gently shake it back and forth, eyes closed. Big smile. In your mind, agreeing to disagree, your higher self and your human self. Or maybe agreeing to think about the conversation. Hands shaking very gently. Eyes closed, smile. Coming to an agreement to listen so deeply and to allow each part of you to have its say. Be open to conversation and communication about what you believe in your life today. Those stuck places. And then bring your hands to stillness. Squeeze your hands really tight. A big hug. Bring your palms flat to your heart. Eyes remain closed and just feel for a minute. And bringing your palms together at your heart center. Take a moment to bow so deeply into yourself. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Please join me in sealing our practice with a long Satnam. Inhale deeply. Sa. Nam. Sliding your thumbs to the space between your brow, dropping your chin into your own innate goodness. Be love, believe, be true to you. Satnam, everybody.